Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a Screenwriter's Rant on Wolf. Um, it's about some people who have very interesting condition. They identify as animals. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. Speaking of which, I'll be at the Collingswood Book Festival this Saturday. Starts early. I got to be there by like 8, and should go all day. I think there'll be food trucks, tons of books. It's outside on Haddon Ave. It's really great. Come on down if you're in the area. Great to see you. I'll have books. I will not have book 7 because I couldn't get copies that quick. But I should have everything else, and including book number 1, so I can get them signed, and hope to see you there. All right, Wolf. It's sort of like a woke version of a werewolf movie almost. It's about two characters who are in some sort of a sane asylum where everybody thinks they're a different animal, and they call the doctor the zookeeper, but of course he's a cruel guy. And the wolf guy falls in love with a girl who thinks she's a wildcat, and he just wants to escape, and the doctor gets increasingly cruel to him, and they're trying to cure him, but really the message is, are they just keeping him from becoming his true self? So I think it's got a bit of a woke bent into it, because I think December 3rd, I think the message is going to be something like, oh well, if he just let these people act the way they wanted to, they'd be fine. Yeah, maybe in this idealized world that's specifically designed for this particular condition, these particularly gentle people, but people who are mentally ill have issues. They have real problems, and the people who generally treat them are generally good people who are trying to help them. Yes, there have been horrific things over the years of extreme cases, but most doctors are not, at least they're not trying to be bad. And believe me, I'm not a person who says trust all doctors. You should be very wary, especially when you get a new doctor, that you are getting good, sound medical advice. Don't be afraid to get a second opinion, just to sort of double check if you can. Don't be afraid to look up your own stuff and know your body, know your conditions, know your medicines. Especially, I got taken by a doctor who prescribed medicine for me, and turns out it was kind of messing me up. And boy, I learned a tough lesson that day. So, what is this message? The message to me is be yourself. Which is a fine message, I guess, and it looks like it's going to be a fun story, but I don't know. It seems unusually cruel to doctors, I guess, and the idea that mental facilities are still like this, where you've got one cruel master trying to do all this stuff. I don't know if it's realistic anymore. I mean, maybe it is in small areas and corners, pockets of the world. I don't know, but it just seems like an excuse to not really delve into the real issues here. I mean, if you're going to do a movie about mental illness, do one, I say. Do a real one. If you're just using this as a vehicle for two crazy people to have a romance, I guess. I mean, I guess it could be good. It feels like, though, a movie for people who feel that way too, and want to see their, and there's a lot of people out there. They want to be fuzzies. They want to be furries. If you're not hurting anybody, I don't have any problem with it. But if you've got a mental issue, that's a different story. And if you want to just tell, I mean, really, you could have told this story about two furries who meet, fall in love. Why not? I guess because more people would have sympathy for mentally ill people. I don't know. It also takes place, I think, in Europe, so the rules there are a little different. It's just not a movie that appeals to me. The first act's going to be, I guess, him getting into the facility and how it is. Yeah, here it is, species dysphoria. See, I think they're trying to make a tie into like trans people. I think it's going to be a metaphor for that. Anyhow, first act, he's in this facility, and at first you think, oh, he's crazy, but then you realize, oh, maybe he's not so crazy. Maybe he's just a weird, quirky guy who likes to be a wolf. And why shouldn't he have a romance? And why shouldn't he be able to run outside and act like a wolf when he wants to? And why is this doctor so cruel? And then at the end, they either escape, or it's like the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He gets lobotomized, and it's a very sad ending, and maybe she escapes or whatever. I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's too much. Not for me. So Wolf comes out on December 3rd, only in theaters. I'm getting back to theaters, so check it out this winter, assuming any theaters are still open. And that's it from me and Little Joan. We'll see you in the next one.